Hello everyone and welcome to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel. I'm Cassie Trask. Today we're going to be using the Pinkfresh Studio's Plumeria stamps, dies, all of that. This is the stamp set. It is gorgeous. It's nice and big. It can fill the full front of an A2 size card, and it does have 3 sentiments. We also have the Plumeria press plate, and it's used with the BetterPress, but you can also foil this, so keep that in mind. And it's absolutely gorgeous as well, and it has the main image and the 2 sentiments, or 2 of the sentiments. And then we also have the die set. It has the main image and 2 of the sentiments. And then we also have the stencils. There are 5 of them, and it's such an easy way to color up such a beautiful stamp set. So we're going to go ahead and get started by pressing the plate. I'm going to pull this out, and I'm really impressed with Pinkfresh Studio having a magnetic sheet in there. It makes it super easy to store your dies, which is great. I have some of the BetterPress cotton panel paper. This is like a white color, and I'm just positioning my plates on there. If you've never used them before, the BetterPress system it's magnetic, which is great because it keeps everything in place. And then I'm just going to use a little bit of low-tack tape. In this case, it's like a Post-it tape that I'm putting behind my paper just to hold it down, hold it in place. And I'm going to do the same thing with this bottom one so that I can do the sentiment also. Lining everything up on there, and then let's ink up our plates. I'm going to use some black ink. This first one is Thunder. That's what that one's called. And this is specially formulated for these press plates. And then I also have the BetterPress Black. So we're going to do that on the sentiment. I want that to be a little bit darker. The Thunder is dark, but it's not quite as dark. So we're just going to ink those up. We'll grab our acrylic plate, position that over the top, and then run that through my Spellbinders Platinum die cutting machine. Video just doesn't do justice to how cool the letterpress look is. So now I've got my image, and we're going to go ahead and just tack that down with some more of that Post-it tape, and I'll bring in the stencils. This is how we're going to color it. It's so neat how these are. Obviously I don't have that lined up correctly, but I will get it there. And then to hold the stencil in place, I'm going to use just a little bit more of that tape. So I'm just tacking that down, and then I'm going to use some mini ink blending tools for all of this. We've got some domed foams, and I am using some evergreen bough for our first set, or the first side of the leaves, and I'm just pulling that color and blending that across. And then when I pull that away, you can see how beautiful it looks. This is such a fun way to color an image. I mean, I like all the ways, but this is a fun way for sure. So then we're going to grab the next stencil, and they're all labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we'll do the same thing with this one. We'll tack that down, and then I'm going to use some pine needles. That's the color I've pulled in. It's a little bit darker green. And we'll use that same blending dome because it's in the green family, so I'm not worried about it. It'll be nice and dark. We're not done with those colors. We're going to bring those in a little bit later for the background. But I like how that looks. So we'll pull that away, take a look. Those leaves look good. And then we're going to move on to the plumeria itself. I'm going to try and make this look like a Hawaiian plumeria. If you look up online what plumerias look like, there's a lot of different color variations, and I just fell in love with this. So I've got some salty ocean, and I am barely blending just the tips of these flowers with that salty ocean. It just looks so good when I pull this away. And I would recommend using one of the smaller ink blending tools. So check that out. That looks really cool. And then we have 2 more stencils. So I've got a couple of yellows. We're going to do the inside pieces, and I'm going to use the fossilized amber on the inside. I'm going to switch out my foam, which I already did. And then I'll just ink up those centers, and then I'll also ink up some of the buds. And the stem. And then we'll pull that one away, and we'll do our very last one, which we're going to use some squeezed lemonade for. This is a very quick way of coloring also, and it's beautiful. So very big fan of this. So tacking that down, and they're easy to line up really. So I did kind of wipe off that foam just a little bit since the mustard seed is a little bit darker. So let me pull that away. And then you can see how cool our image looks, and it has that letterpress look as well. So check it out. Very, very happy. All right, now we're going to work on that background. So I did bring in the pine needles. I'm starting with pine needles, and I'm going to blend that on the bottom of some distress paper, the watercolor paper. And I've used the rough side, as you can see, or the more textured side. So we're going to kind of do an ombre look. We're going darker at the bottom and blending that color up into the white. We're going to leave some of the white on top. Now we'll bring in that evergreen bough and blend at the top and just keep going into the white. And I'll bring back the pine needles just to darken up those edges a little bit more. I love the look of the ombre. And then bringing in the old technique of using water, I'm going to clean up my mess, and then we have our distress sprayer that I'm going to spray into my hand and just kind of make big droplets with, and then I'm going to spritz a little bit of water on there as well. And you'll need to let that sit for a few seconds, and I'll wipe that away with a microfiber cloth, or I'll just dab it up, actually, and take a look. Oh, I know that's an old technique, but it's a great one. All right, bringing in the matching dye. Struggling there a second, but I figured it out. And then we'll just tack that down with some of that tape that I was using earlier and run that through our die cutting machine along with the sentiment. So we'll tack that down also. I did notice that the die set also has one of those magnetic panels inside the packaging, which is fabulous. Love that. So big fan of that. All right, everything was die cut out. And before we do any assembly, I'm going to work on the inside of the card, but I'm super impressed with the detail of the die. So not only does it cut around, but it also cuts a couple of the bits on the inside. So I'll pop those out, but that's just like a real attention to the detail. I love that. So here's our card base. It measures 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches and was scored at 4.25 inches. I'm going to bring in the main image, and I'll bring in my Misty because I want to make sure and stamp this well because that is a big stamp. And so I'll close the door of the Misty to pick up the stamp. And then I'm actually going to ink it up with some of that squeeze lemonade. Now, these distress inks are not formulated for stamping, but it works just fine on the inside of a card, and it leaves you with that really pretty look. And you can write over the top of it, no problem. And then we will stamp the sentiment from this. Not this one. There's 3 sentiments in there. And this one doesn't have a die for it, so it's definitely made for the inside of the card, which I love. And so we'll just ink that up with some VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink and stamp that down. It says, hope to see you soon. So our outside is missing your smile. Hope to see you soon. We'll use some Barely Art glue to glue down our panel to the front of our card base. And then I'm going to glue down the sentiment to the front of our Plumeria also, because I want to use some foam squares on the back. So I'll just glue that down and then kind of let that dry. And I don't want to cover up all the flowers, but I do want that to be on there. And then we'll flip that over, and then we're going to use the scrapbook adhesive foam squares. We've got some bigger ones, and we also have some smaller ones. I'm just going to put that all over the back of our image and peel off that release paper. Sorry, I'm kind of off screen there. But once we get all of that peeled off, we can stick that down on the front of the card. And I kind of put it a little bit more towards the top just so that you can see a little bit more of the green. And I don't stop there. I do bring in some Pinkfresh Studios clear drops. These are the ice ones, and I'm just going to stick those down. I'm pretty liberal with how I put all those down. I put quite a few of them, but they just add to this so nicely. And I'll use that Barely Art glue to glue those down also. And once they're all glued on there, that is going to finish off our card for today. I love how this turned out. It's so gorgeous. I'm going to be using this over and over and over again for all colors of Plumeria. So if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. Definitely consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. And be sure to check out all that ScrapbookPal has going on over on their blog, Facebook page, and Instagram for more crafty inspiration. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you soon.